gremlins in his bum.
I always like do it a little bit shaky, so like I'll do a video and then when I laugh, I'm like,
If you focused as much energy into yourself and making yourself happy as you were giving to me right now.
I make content and I post it out, and if you enjoy it, great, and if you don't, no stress. Just don't look at it.
Bits that he sticks on to make it look like Superman or like with a cape.
But why is everyone saying "of" to me? Like, of what?
And at the end of it, I just watched it back and I was like, what the actual...
I get down to this mirror, I'm sitting there, I'm ready to go, and I get on all fours, and I turn to this mirror, and I get the toy, and I'm about to insert this thing.
I can keep a secret.
Okay, cool.
You
Go for
wouldn't
it.
think, you wouldn't think we've done this fucking 50
I know.
times. Would you? Honestly, like every week we have to.
Don't
do
interrupt.
This.
Let her do it.
You got hold off.
Fuck's sake.
Okay,
Shit.
ready? Don't make me laugh, guys. Shh. Welcome to the Confessional podcast. This is episode 42. I am your courageous co-host, Kimmi K. Obviously, I've got Silly Sausage Rick with me, pod producer Mickey D, and also we've still got the wonderful Hannisons with us.
Yeah. Well done, Kimmy. Fucking hell.
And if
was
we can get a
fucking
big
brilliant.
middle finger to Rick because you nailed that.
Right, should we? Can
Yeah, let's do
I ask my next question and then? Oh, do you want to do Urban Dictionary Corner first?
As always, we will start our episode with a trip to Urban Dictionary Corner. Now, would any of you care to guess what a San Francisco steam train might be?
No.
That
Yes.
immediately.
Shit.
Immediately my head has gone. You know that meme that you see basically when you see somebody massive like Shaq, and obviously with his wife who's teeny tiny, very small petite woman, and you see that train steaming towards obviously the kind of tunnel, and it doesn't fit, and it just keeps ramming until it gets in. That's what immediately popped into my head.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
The big...
So, but I'm sure it's not that. But I just wanted to kind of call that out. But it's got to be something to do with shit, isn't it?
I think it's something to do with shit, like a Cleveland steamer. It's something to do with shit.
What's it called?
100%.
What's it called?
A Cleveland steamer.
Oh,
Is that right?
no, San Francisco steam train.
Oh, sorry. I was talking about a Cleveland steamer. That's a big shit, isn't it?
I think a San Francisco steam train is where a woman pushes her tits together and somebody shits and it goes between her tits and she like squishes it between her boobs. Sorry.
I'm gonna say
Sorry.
a San Francisco steam train is male to male. I'm gonna assume, and it's, you know, like human caterpillar, no, human centipede.
Human caterpillar.
Yeah. A little cute little caterpillar. Yeah.
Did you just get a horror movie confused with a story that you've read to your kids?
Yeah.
The Hungriest Centipede.
Fuck's sake.
That's a good idea for a book.
Oh, God.
I think it's male to male, and I'm just gonna guess here, like
Arse to mouth.
What? No. One takes it in turns. One's empty, one's full, and I think it's like the shit goes into the other man, into his arsehole.
Oh.
Here comes
That's
the steam
naughty.
train.
That's naughty.
I think it's someone blowing vape air into someone's butthole and then the other person farting it out.
I'd quite like to see that.
Okay.
I'd quite like to see that.
A literal smoke ring. Oh.
A vape gape. That's what it is.
I'm gonna try that.
So we've created two possible submissions for Urban Dictionary. We've
Yeah.
created vape gape and scare ho.
And
Yes.
the human caterpillar.
What, the very hungry centipede? Brad was probably the closest.
Oh.
But the San Francisco steam train, an orgy of gay men who create a conga line and fuck each other from behind simultaneously, an anal chain gang, popularized in San Francisco.
Oh.
I would love to see that.
Kimmy's got this thing about gay porn.
I like
like
gay porn.
she fucking
Yeah.
loves it. Like
Rick
she actually
discovered
loves
that
it.
when we went out in Scotland because I think I told him like 50 times.
She was like, I would love to watch you fuck Mikey. I was like, I'm good, man. I appreciate
It wasn't
that,
like that. It wasn't like that.
yeah. Obviously, we were smashed and we were kind of like just talking absolute nonsense. But yeah. And she just
That sounds like fun.
well, not for me. It doesn't. How about you, Dave? Fancy that, mate? You fancy it? Fancy a trip to San Fran for a weekend, or
You and me, Rick?
we'd probably clean up, mate, because we're British.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've had lots of requests. I've actually got a really funny story about a request that I was asked to do. I decided to have my own OF page, and I thought, you know what? You've got to accommodate to men as well. Why not? I'm so comfortable that I don't care. You know, like when I was in boy bands before, there was I'd be the only straight person in the group. But it didn't bother me to a point where one of them would say, I'd say, what's your biggest turn on? And they'd say, he was French, and he was like, my favourite turn on is someone who wears white underwear. And I'd be like, oh, really? So I'd go and have a shower. I'd come out in white Calvins, and I'd have a hard on. You know, I've got a decent toy in my toolbox. And I'd come out, and he'd be like, no, you can't do that. Put that away. Fucking put it away. So that's the kind of guy I was. And then when years later, doing this, I decided to set my own page up. And someone said, could you put on a leather jacket and just look at the camera and just take a few pictures, and I'll give you some money for it. So I did that. I thought, yeah, really vanilla, why not? Then it was, could you take your trousers off and wear the leather jacket? Nothing else now, no pants, no nothing, just leather jacket. So I did that. I thought, yeah, why not, Then he was like, play with yourself. I thought, yeah, no problem, we can do this, no matter where this goes, or even if you screen record it and send it anywhere, I can get away with this. So I did, and then it became, now we need to get a toy and fuck your ass. Right? So, this is where, for me, it was quite funny. I said, do you know what? I can do this. We spoke about it, and he was like, well...
It's like, listen,
fuck, he's going to give you 500 quid to put a toy in your bum. And I love it. I love a tongue, and I love a finger. Fuck it, who doesn't? And I thought, yeah, I can do this. I can do this. Why was I geeing myself up? I was all on my own. So I needed to picture the scene. I've got a mirror, big mirror in front of me, yeah? And I get down to this mirror, and I'm sitting there, and I'm ready to go, and I get on all fours. And I turn to this mirror, and I get the toy, and I'm about to insert this thing, and it's all lubed up, I'm ready to go. And I turn around, and as I turn around, the mirror shows me everything that at this moment I probably shouldn't really be doing. And as I turn around and look at the mirror, with my arse ready to go, I just looked at myself and said to myself, I went, what the fuck are you doing? And that was it, I did. I literally said, what the fuck are you doing, mate? Because, at that point, that's when I realised, oh, this could be taken and
that's how he ended up with hemorrhoids. No,
yeah, that's how he ended up with the gremlins in his bum.
Yes. No, that was it. And I didn't. I just said,
it's like, this isn't me.
This can't, things come out of it. And not, that's my take. Although
things almost came out of you.
Yeah.
Now every time I go to take...
Like, it's all right if you're doing it. He was like, but me doing it to myself just feels a little bit weird.
Now every time I go to the toilet, it's just dun 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 dun, and out comes a gremlin.
Yeah, bro. No, I get it.
You can't feed it after midnight.
Yeah.
Like I get it. Like, so I've got OnlyFans, and it's just me. It's all solo content. It's literally just me.
Yeah.
And I'd say, so I used to be very female dominant. It used to be like 90% female, 10% male. Recently, it's taken a huge turn where it's like probably 50-50 now. So I've never had so many male subscribers ever, which is absolutely fine. I'm like, cool, man, whatever. Like, I'll kind of accommodate to whomever wants to watch. But so I'm not selfish on my OnlyFans, but I'm very much, I make content and I post it out. And if you enjoy it, great. And if you don't, no stress. Just don't look at it. But yeah, I get some pretty like outlandish requests, and that's the one thing that I won't do. I will not insert a toy up my bumhole. Can't do it. I was very similar to you, where obviously I had my kind of ring light and I had my phone on it, and I was in the shower. at that time, and I was like, right, cool, yeah, like this is only little. It'd be all right. It'd be all right. I lubed it up, and I swear on my life, right, so I took a picture. I always take a picture just before everything I do, so I can like post that as like a teaser to be like, this is coming out. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is coming out. And I took the picture and I was like, what is that, bro? I was like, oh, look, fucking literally, because I'm not used to it. Like, my back's like arched over. I looked so awkward and so like, because obviously I'm not, so like, I can make myself look quite good and presentable in like naked pictures, and I can make my dick look fucking pretty healthy. But this, because I've never done it, I didn't know how to angle myself or what to do or how to do it. And I was like,
It never looks right, does
a
it?
video looking like that, bro. I was like, I can't record, I can't do it, mate. I looked so awkward. I was like, nah, it's not happening. You're not going to see it. So I can fully relate to it. I can fully relate. So yeah, man. Yeah.
The only thing I've got to say about all of it is, you know what, this is really true, is that too many men are so uncomfortable with their sexuality and they won't admit it, so it comes out in the form of, ugh, oh, that's disgusting. How can you do that? Or that's gay, that's this, that, you know. It's not that, it's, you know, I always say, we don't believe in gay, straight, black, white. I'm not interested in none of that. We're all human beings, and you do whatever the fuck you want that makes you happy, right? But it's cool to talk about it. Yeah. And if you experiment yourselves, and it's not for you, and you can make humour out of it, that's great. But really and truly, we should all just be so comfortable and not worry.
Like I always say, don't knock it till you tried it. Yeah. You just don't know what you're going to like. And if you don't try it, you'll never know.
Yeah. You're right. You are right. Like, I'm open to absolutely everything apart from poo and blood.
Yeah, I mean, we're not poo people.
No, we're not. No. Oh, that means you're sucking my dick, Rick. Okay.
Yeah. That's it. That's it.
On that note, I feel I have to interject because I've got a confession here that is too relevant for us not to dive into.
Okay.
Do it. Let's do it.
Okay. I once shagged a random whilst out in Birmingham and stupidly didn't wear any protection. I was having my wicked way, doggy style, when I realised there was a stench of shite within the air. Ooh. We carried on for a short while, and when I pulled out, I realised the smell was coming from him. And let's just say, when I looked down, it was apparent on my knob that they had a messy bottom. Before I knew it, they were spinning around with the intention of finishing me off orally.
Oh.
I had seconds to either stop them or let them carry on.
I hope they did.
My brain simply opted for, well, that'll clean it off, I suppose. And I allowed them to continue sucking me off.
Yes.
That is something. That is something.
Yeah, that's what happens when you go to Birmingham.
Oh my goodness. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
so crazy.
There's so much going on there. Like the decision not to say anything.
I mean, but the person
I don't
obviously
think I would
care or notice. I don't know. Like,
I bet he got down there. He smelt that shit, and he was like, "Oh fuck!" To save himself embarrassment, he just had to carry on because he couldn't stop halfway and go, "I'm not sucking that. It smells like shit."
Yeah,
out of his arse.
No, it's in your
That's
arse.
my own shit.
That moment
that's naughty, isn't it?
Oh.
No, it's that moment when you go, it's not me. It's
you.
It's not you, it's me. Yeah.
A messy bum. The whole thing that kind of grossed me out the most. And don't get me wrong, man. Gay sex, cool. You do you. That's sick. But the term messy bum fucking turned my stomach, mate. Like,
I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that.
I could say
I'm not very good with things like that, am I? Anyway,
no, you've
I'm my gag reflex.
He's so sensitive.
I use a tongue cleaner and it sounds like I'm getting suffocated. You know, like,
He can't deal with it.
What is your gag reflex? Jesus Christ.
Well, that's good for the job, I suppose.
Yeah. She fucking loves it.
Love it, mate.
Down, all the way down. What's going on? You're right down there.
Oh, it's disappeared. Yes, disappeared. Come on.
Party trick.
Fucking humble me for fuck's sake. Yeah, I get it. I get it. That's a great confession, but yeah, the term messy bum turned my stomach a little bit, and I'm normally pretty like cool, man, like fucking good for you. But yeah, like
We've had friends that have been like,
we had a friend who loved it. They loved it. Like in their relationship, they'd been married for years, and you know, and
like, you've never
done that. I was like,
never took a shit on his chest in the middle of it.
In the middle of it, like you just get into it. I'm like, no. I was like, what about the mess?
Well, fuck the mess. Like, you shit on me, it's over. It is over.
How did you deal with the smell? It's a smell.
You've got to prep for that. I don't care who you have to prep for that, bro.
Yeah,
I think even picking up dog shit drives me mental. I'll do it if I have to do it, right? But even picking up dog shit, you know, when you start to do it and you think, oh, fucking hell, I've got away with this, and then the wind changes, and that 0.3 seconds as it gusts up your nose, and you go, oh.
He wouldn't even do like pooey nappies.
I mean, I did.
Not really. No. Let's just be real here. He'd like try, and then he'd be like, "You're gonna have to take over."
Oh no, because sometimes you know.
Maybe I'm just. I don't know. Yeah, that doesn't bother me. But no, I couldn't ever have it done to me, and also I don't even let him in the bathroom when I'm doing that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to sit there and strain and pop one out in front of it. Like, I just know it's just not
on your chest while you got a stiffy. No,
it's just not.
I couldn't do that right now anyway. It'd be like a load of airbags coming out. Like,
God help me!
Oh, little gremlin pop out. Hello,
Gremlin.
Oh, stop.
Do you know what's worse about the smell is, you know, when it smells, you can smell that it's warm as well, can't you? It's a warm smell.
All I can think of, right? All I can think of is basically like a sweaty, hairy, shitty arsehole. And imagine the stench.
I mean, maybe it's like really cool in the moment for them, but then what about after? You know, like sometimes you have really dirty sex and you're saying all these random things and you go into this whole other soda, and then it finishes and you're like, what happened there?
Yeah.
You know, so it's like with that
happens a lot.
Like with that, it's like what happens?
Yeah,
it's
what
like
do you say
afterwards,
there? What do you do?
when you clock eyes with each other and realise that you're covered in shit.
You sit there and you get a little bit of it and you go, Simba.
Yes, right. You are right though. Like, you are right. So regardless whether you're in a relationship or not, right? As soon as you come and you both finish, immediately your brain changes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Immediately. You kind of go from being this fucking horny mess, this horny fucking demon, to kind of like, right, I'm an adult again.
Yeah.
Real life.
Do you know what though?
But this time, real life, I got shit on my chest, mate.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Clarity.
Yeah.
Honestly, what would you do at that point? Like, clean yourself up.
Yeah, you look a fucking steak. Your chest.
Well,
Like,
you're not going to McDonald's at the end of the night. I know that much. Fucking hell.
No.
Yeah, I just think.
Mikey, what are you drinking out of?
What do you mean?
What's that mug?
It's a tea.
What does it
What does it
say
say?
on it?
Oh, it's
Urban Dictionary Corner.
Dixie
I love
Corner.
it.
Hey.
that will be available on our merch store next week.
Ba-da-bum-bum.
Oi.
Yeah, little cheat. I didn't even know that, so that's a little plug. Good for you.
Yeah, we'll have to have one for our lives.
I've been designing a bunch of different things: t-shirts, mugs. We've got a cracking one lined up for Rick.
Brilliant.
And so just
Is it a picture? Is it a picture of me being airlifted?
Of course not, Rick.
no,
So
we would
stupid.
never.
I'm 99% certain it's going to be a picture of me cocooned in this fucking thing, just being.
It's going to be a picture of you bent over in the shower, Rick.
Yeah. It's going to be that one, mate. It's going to be that one. Me taking that fucking selfie like that. I can't do it, mate.
Like Quasimodo.
I look at honestly, mate, my back was so. I was in the most bizarre shape I've never seen myself in, and I was like, nah, that is not. Like, I can appreciate when I look good in a picture or not, and I was like, nah, that is not going on.
I was the same, bro. As I looked at myself in that mirror, I was the same, mate. I just thought, what are you doing, mate? What are you doing? I said it to myself, you know? It was like, yeah. So you just have those moments.
Yeah.
I've definitely done that before, making a custom video. And at the end of it, I just watched it back and I was like, what the actual fuck is this? No, I'm not doing that. I don't care. You could keep the money, mate. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've had some bad requests, haven't you?
Yeah, fuck
got
that.
too many.
Fuck. Oh yes, so some of the requests are mad. So I think my craziest request though was somebody wanted to see me shit on a see-through, so basically a bin bag, but it had to be a see-through one. They wanted, I didn't do this by the way, but they wanted me to basically poo on this plastic bag, and then they wanted me to stand over it naked with the camera basically angled up, so it was like up, looking up at me, so I looked like this fucking giant. And I was pissing on my shit.
Oh.
Yeah, I swear on my life. So get this, right? So my first month on OnlyFans. So I started OnlyFans October 20... No, it wasn't October. It was August 2021. I didn't really do many kind of thirst traps, but I did a few. But my TikTok account at the time was huge. It was like 500,000. And at that time, well, that was massive. That was massive. And loads of people kept putting OF ? In my comments. So what the fuck? Why is everyone saying "of" to me? Like, of what? You cunt? Like, what? I had no idea. I had no idea what it was. So then I kind of Googled it, and I was like, OnlyFans. I was like, dick pics. I was like, fuck, I got loads of them. Yeah, so kind of had the conversation. And they were like, yeah, go for it. And I was like, all right, sweet. My first month, I made $5,000. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, fuck me. And that was only from about 9 people.
Wow.
Right, and they were just fucking spent. Because initially I was like, right, it's just going to be bulges. You'll see my dick in my boxers, like the outline of it, and like I'll be topless. And very quickly, when somebody went, I'll fucking send you $500 right now if you send me a video you wanking, I was like, fucking give me 10 minutes, sir.
Yeah.
That's coming in your inbox there, brother.
Right
yeah.
away.
And then, oh fuck, man! I reckon within 4 days, I was like doing everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Amazing how quickly our morals go out the window, isn't it?
Yeah. Like truly, like, and I truly said to myself in my head, I was like, right, this isn't going to be fully nude. This is just going to be kind of like tease pics where people can kind of come and see me behind the scenes a little bit more.
His eyes were really opened when we started doing it.
Yeah.
And obviously I was really open about everything. Like they used to look at all the DMs on Instagram and everything. So anybody that did send me a cock pic, Brad has seen it.
Oh, sometimes I used to talk to them sometimes.
Yeah, but it was like, and he could not believe the amount of guys that just so willingly will send you a picture of their cock.
Yeah, they go, look at it.
Yeah. And they're like, look at this, you want it. And you're like, he was like, this is so vulgar. Why the fuck are men like this?
No, I've seen so much cock.
Yeah.
That I just, in the end, even I could kind of, would sit with you with a cup of tea being like, this is just crazy.
Yeah.
But it is. And in the end, I used to talk to the guys because there's one thing I do know.
He was so good at it. Like on Instagram.
I used to be, whatever word you want to use for it, I used to be a hell of a slut, a slag, whatever you want to say.
Yes.
He was a hoe.
I was awful, right? And and I wasn't really the nicest person. Never, nothing extreme, but I was always very... didn't care, didn't have any respect.
He was a young lad in rock bands, do you know what I mean?
And I didn't really care, and I was that kind of guy. So when I flipped the entire script, and I'm on the receiving end with my wife, and I start to look at it, I started to realise something, and I went, hold on a minute, I know how to talk to men. And when I say, not only can I talk to these guys, I could take a few quid out of their wallets here. And I started to...
He came up with so many things.
And it was me that was talking to most of the guys.
Yeah.
It was me.
Like getting them in on Instagram.
Because what a lot of the... I'm not saying the girls didn't get it, but what a lot of the girls would do is they'd say, oh no, I'm not talking to men on Instagram. They're just... What was it? They're just freeloaders. They're just cheapskates. And you're right. They are freeloaders. They are cheapskates. But let them in.
Yeah.
Let them in. Let them in, right? And get into their heads and let them send a dick pic. And when they send a dick pic, then you lay it on thick, as they say. Lay it on thick.
Yeah, he would say the things that a woman would never say.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because we don't think the same way. Do you know what I mean? So he'd be coming out with all these things and they were like, fucking take my money.
So by saying the thing that he knew they wanted to hear, he's effectively become like the sales funnel.
Yeah.
And in fact, I had this thing. You should take this idea all you want with it because it's brilliant. And I literally turned around and I said, I've got a 3-video challenge. That's what I called it.
Yeah.
It's a 3-video challenge.
We don't do this anymore.
Not anymore. This is how I used to get the guys. So we used to call it going into the gutters. And we say the gutters because it references exactly what you say. The guys who just send their dick pics and they're rude and they're obnoxious. And I'm like, love it. Because what I would then turn around and say is, I've got a 3-video deal and no one's ever managed to get to the 3rd video. Most people spunk before they... Do you know what? Before they even get to the end of the 1st video, they spunk.
But maybe you will get to all three.
Because I can tell just looking at that juicy cock that you want to drain your fucking balls in my mouth. And I'm like, and it's coming from my wife, remember?
I'd be like,
and I'm like, and all you got to do, it's 30. Okay, it's normally $30, right? It's $10 a video. But how about I do these videos for $7 a video? It's $21. So all you got to do is part with that, and we'll give you the free clips, and it's just 3. It's like 30 seconds, 40 seconds, and a minute. That's all it is. So collectively, you're talking 2 minutes and 10 seconds from my wife. And little clips.
I made these videos, and oh my god!
And I used to sell
the amount of times those 3 videos were sold
in the gutters.
Was ridiculous.
In the gutters, where everyone said, "Don't deal with the freeloaders and the cheapskates."
Yeah.
No hard work. Just do it. Talk to the ones you think I'm not going to earn any money from them.
Yeah.
And believe you me, from my approach. Talking like a prick, basically, it works. It works.
Well, yeah, you just got to get on their level.
Get on their level. And in the end, it was like, this is really working. And I went, yeah, it is, yeah.
Yes, it is. We're going on holiday. Yeah, good for you.
So there you go.
That's mega. Yeah. It's mad, though. Like, so I get so many unsolicited pictures. It's fucking insane, isn't it? Like, I think I can nearly relate to how women feel online.
Yeah.
That's from now on.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Definitely had pictures from girls too. I've seen a lot of tits in the DMs.
That's insane. I've never had boobs.
Have you not?
Penis.
Oh no, we've had a lot of tits as well.
Yeah.
A lot, you know, and it's like, I was like, damn, I mean, fair enough, like, they're nice to look at, you know.
Yeah.
But
it
works.
So,
I'm bi, so.
She's bi, so it's like, you know,
she's like, fucking.
But yeah, but it works, but it does work both ways. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have definitely had pictures before off of girls and they've just sent me a pair of their tits and they're like, I thought you'd want to see this. So I was like,
what do you think? And I'm
fair
like,
enough.
What do I think?
I mean, great set of tits. You know, what do you want me to say?
You know, I'm a boob man as well, you know.
I think I'd rather see a set of tits than some random.
Yeah, 100%.
A lot
more visually appealing.
A lot of knobs are very unattractive, though, aren't they?
I was just about to say that, Rick. I don't think. Look, I have to throw this out there immediately. It's all over the internet anyway. I think I have got a good-looking cock.
Yeah, you do.
Same.
You do.
Same.
I do.
I think I do.
Yeah, and it's not the biggest. It's not the biggest. I never claimed to be the biggest. None of that shit. But it's decent. But it's good-looking cock. And you're right, mate. And with men, forget just cocks. I happily can turn around and say, "You're a good-looking guy."
Yes, sir.
If I was gay, I'm not gonna lie, if I was gay, I probably would fuck you. But I'm just not. But you are very good looking. I can see why a man or woman would love to fuck you. And a lot of my friends would be like, "How can you say that? It makes me what? It makes me a human being that understands what's good looking." But cocks,
Correct.
The average cock that I've seen in photographs, whether they're big, throbbing, white and veiny, whether they're just fucking
tiny.
Oh, and I just, you know.
But they always take them from a really, really weird angle as well. Like,
it's like over the toilet.
Yeah, like just down. Like
sat on the toilet with the spots in their pants.
There must be one of those influencers out there that's selling a course on how to take pictures of your dick.
Yeah.
So, do you know what's really...
I don't know how.
I got a funny little... I'll give my own little confession here. So, when I first started OnlyFans, I was like, fuck me, how do I, like, take a dick pic without trying to take the generic dick pic? You know, like, fucking... where it's just kind of like you're pushing it up with your thumb and you can just see like your belly and then your dick and then your thumb's just kind of sat on your cock. So I randomly came across this woman's page on TikTok. I can't for the life of me remember it. And she was like, this is what women want to see. And she actually did videos of different angles and different shots and different kind of scenarios of what she was like, look, this is attractive. And I swear on my life, I fucking mimicked it, mate. I swear on my fucking life. I was like, gosh, I'll have some of that. So like, I was kind of like sat on the bed with like kind of my legs open a bit with like cock kind of fucking, you know, just like yeah, bro. And I sent that to someone and they're like, fuck me, that's got to be the hottest picture I think I've ever seen. And I was like, fucking hell, it worked. Oh my God. I was like, oh my God. I was like, it fucking worked, mate. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. So yeah, I actually watched this. So whoever you were on TikTok, if you are listening to this, I appreciate you because you helped me. So, thank you very much.
I follow a dude on OnlyFans and his whole page is like cosplay cocks. Like he turns his cock into a cosplay and he'll use like bits that he sticks on to make it look like Superman or like with
Batman.
a cape.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
anything, literally anything. And he'll put like, sometimes he'll put like the toilet roll tube over it that's all dressed up. It's really fucking cool.
That's
I
jokes.
really like that.
That's
Gotta
so
have a big old dick for that,
creative.
though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to put
So
my cock
creative.
for a fucking toilet roll thing and have it fucking hanging out the end. So, yeah, good for him. Good for him.
I used to
That
like
means
get
he
a
has a
towel
big
and I'd like, you get to that point, we all know what we're talking about, Rick, and everyone else is, to be honest, that throbbing moment when it's that fucking hard that you can get a towel and it will, and it won't fall off, but it won't also stay on. So, you get that moment as it's just hanging on and it's throbbing down here and it's trying to battle, but it can't, and the towel comes down to about just enough to let you know that this is a serious cock. But the towel's there, and you take that photo at that moment, and that's that thing where it's like, fuck, and the amount of people that would just like, it's on my page now. And or somewhere I'm just standing there, just my cheeks. There's a jungle out there, I'm standing against the balcony, and I'm just standing there, my bum, my cheeks. I'm not the biggest guy, I'm quite slim. But they're
just take pictures.
They're candid, aren't they? Yeah, and people
just. If you take a couple of pictures, they're like, yeah, sure, get your cock out.
But Rick, have you ever had that moment where you take a photo, you sit there and you go, I just got to take a photo. So this is what happens to me, right? So I get the camera, this is recent times, and it will say, you haven't uploaded in a long time.
Oh yeah, because he doesn't really do it on his phone
anymore.
anymore.
And they go, you haven't uploaded in a while, so you better do it, kind of thing. So I'm like, I better fucking do it. So I take the top off. And then this is what happens. I get the camera and I go, I've got the camera here, look. This is exactly what happens, right? This is the pose. And you always have that pose. It really pisses you off because you feel like a muppet. And I go... right? And I do this. And then you look, and all of a sudden you find yourself going... and you're looking at the camera and then you go, oh, for fuck's sake, like, how am I supposed to... Anyway, that's what happens. You end up taking these generic photos and I just think, what am I doing? Should I just...
It was never really like... Because he tried doing his own page, like, for a while, and... It just, I don't know, it just wasn't you, was it?
I mean, there's some good videos on there.
No, yeah, he did. But it just wasn't like, I don't know, it just never came naturally. It wasn't saying, it was just like, oh, I really want to do this. So it just kind of fizzled out a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah.
Do you guys have humour in your OnlyFans videos, or is it basically just porn?
Basically, just full on fucking.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, it's
most of the time.
No, we're gonna. Let's tell you what. Do you know what? When we did Pornhub, right?
We used to make a lot of like scenes.
We done some really.
We'd come up with scenarios and all that kind of malarkey.
You make a scene.
Did you make money off Pornhub?
We did.
We used to make a little bit of money, but it was mostly just traffic.
Yeah, nothing.
To be honest.
When like the early days of TikTok and all that. And the views were so tremendous that it'd go from there to the OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And it became a huge cycle until the algorithm.
Like, put it this way, we were 44th in the world at one point on Pornhub, but we were still only making about $900 a month on Pornhub. Yeah. So it's not really money. The place to make money, but it's really good to get your stuff out there. But I mean, we got really lucky with Pornhub because we went on there at the time when they wiped loads of content.
Do you remember that?
When they literally took down something silly like, what was it, 20 odd million videos.
80% of their entire catalogue.
So when we started posting, there was only, 5 million videos on Pornhub? Which isn't a lot. There's a lot. Now, and so we got in at a really good time. And it was the time when they were really pushing content because they needed verified people to start putting content on there. So we did get lucky with that.
Especially couples that actually had high quality stuff.
Yeah.
We used to take, influence from or inspiration from anyone really. We were never like, we're the pioneers of this shit. We were just like, we're a vanilla couple, we're married.
But we also love, filming stuff in general, like cinematography and all that stuff. So we used to get creative in that sense.
Stories like when we done a scene where you pretended that I was
the handyman,
the husband's best friend,
or the husband. Oh, do you know what? That is the most popular video we've ever had. The husband's best friend.
And listen, that video, right?
It did so well.
We were so fucking carried away that I didn't give a shit about it.
It was one of them videos.
Didn't care about the angles. Didn't care about the angles anymore. I was just like, I'm going to slap the fuck out of you and I'm going to take a shit from my chest.
No, that's it.
She's having it. She's having it. Yes. Yeah, that's jokes. Oh, good for you, man. That's fucking sick, isn't it?
I try and do topless dark humour on mine. Like I've done quite a few videos, but I've not done any new ones recently, so I'm still posting old ones. But yeah, I try and do topless dark humour.
Love that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Man. That's awesome. There's a million of them.
Let's see. Let's see if you
videos
can
are very,
concentrate
like-
on the punchline whilst the
Yeah.
cans are out.
I always like do it a little bit shaky, so like I'll do a video and then when I laugh, I'm like,
Yeah.
That's it.
Fuck
That's the
yeah,
one.
no. That's jokes. It's interesting, isn't it? Kind of the whole algorithm on social media is so interesting because so I feel, I don't know about you, but for me, like I kind of have pockets where I do really well and then my videos all just kind of not flop, that's the wrong word, but they massively slow down. The traffic on them is so slow, and then I'll have like another month where fucking everything, I could post me going, hey, and it would fucking get like 2 million views. Like, yeah, and I feel like I have pockets like that. Right now, I'm in my kind of, I feel like I'm building up, and I do feel like I'm about to have a very, very popular video because I've been gaining a little bit of traction. But yeah, I don't know about you, but I get that all the time, man. Whether that's just the algorithms changing or I don't know what it is.
Well, we're having that right now.
Everyone has it, I think.
Yeah, I think we have videos recently, and they're on, honestly, about 1,500 views. That makes sense. But it's not, you know.
But then the week before you have one that goes to 30 million, and you're like it makes sense.
One month we had like 50 million views, and then you get 20, and then other months you still get millions because in that month you know you're going to go viral somewhere. When you have a week when you're getting like 1,000 to 2,000 views, the difference with us is, I mean this, like, I swear to where the whole humble and non-arrogance and all that shit comes into it, we genuinely are like, it doesn't matter.
It don't matter.
It really doesn't matter because, you know, whether it gets lost in the FYP or not, that's still great content. And
yeah, it's no reflection on how good your content is. Like, I know people say, oh, it's obviously because your content's not good. No,
it's not nothing to do with that.
We've done really, really good content before and it just doesn't do anything. And it's just one of them things. And I think I think it's really hard, but after a while, you just learn to detach from it.
Yeah, it's also a myth, by the way. There is no such thing as shadow banning.
Nah, it's
a myth that it gets thrown around.
You can get restricted, definitely, but you know about it, you know.
Like our recent Snatch episode that we did the we had our good friend Paul Killick. He we haven't mentioned those guys, but Carlo Bath's the director of Pinocchio, and Paul Killick, he's the assistant director. He decided to get involved in the scene with Tyrone in the car.
He's getting out of the car.
I watched that. That yesterday.
Yeah, well,
like, what the fuck is he going to get away from?
Yeah.
But that imitation AUG, which we all know what it is, unfortunately, what we should have done...
Well, what we wanted to do is have a water gun.
Yeah, a really big water pistol. So the title would have been, when the water fight gets too serious, like we did with the Snatch ones with the water pistols.
But we didn't have one to hand.
So he said... Do you want to use one of the movie guns that we used? I went, yeah, what big ones have you got? So he gives me an imitation AUG in the middle of London.
I'm not even joking. We were literally hiding it up our jumpers just to get to the car. Because like anyone sees us, we're pissed
walking in Croydon to the car, getting in the car to do that scene. And there I am. So what happens is AI immediately in a millisecond gets a picture of the gun. It knows, looking on the internet and wherever else, AUG, it's made of metal. It can tell everything about it. And then
it knows it's fake, but it also won't push it. Do you know what I mean?
So it gets like...
It could be anything. Like, honestly, there's so many... Like, if you try and understand it, you'll be there forever.
And it changes so quickly that even the staff in the headquarters, they don't get it.
They don't get it.
They don't get it.
So it's just... It's not luck, but I do think that's where it changes, you know?
I think it's random.
Yeah.
I think it's random, isn't it?
I find with mine, like, it doesn't make any difference on my metrics either. So it doesn't matter how many likes I've got, how many shares I've got. Because I've got videos that have got like 6,000 views but 200 shares.
Yeah.
And then I've got videos that have got 100,000 views and like 2 shares.
It
makes no sense.
I know, it doesn't
make sense. And I think...
we say that, don't we?
Yeah, I used to sit there and say, look, how many people at this exact moment that are into kind of what we do, how many people are doing this right now? Because that's all it is. Forget your grid and your profile. Not many people will actually click on the grid and really start binge watching. And even if they do, they stop after about half hour. But how many people are really doing this at that particular time, and who likes what you're putting up? And are your interests interesting? So you're trying to work that out. That's what I thought first. And I went, well, between 7, 8 p.m, that's kind of like prime time. People like comedy, they like the movies, let's do it. But it doesn't really work like that.
No, and you could be doing it.
Doesn't work like that.
You could do like, I see all these TikTok strategists and all this.
Oh, God,
they like post at the same time every day for 30 days, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, all right, you'll get a little bit of a view of it. And then they'll change the algorithm. And it will all go out the window. So my advice to anyone is just fucking post, man.
Just post.
And if it goes well, it goes well.
Yeah. We've gone viral at 5 PM, viral at 12 PM.
There's literally
there is no thing.
We have no set schedule, no set times that we post, no amount of posts we do a day. Obviously, if you're trying to grow,
that's it. That's what I was going to say.
If you're trying to grow, then definitely post about 3 a day.
About 3 a day for growth.
Only because you have more chance of going viral.
That's it.
That's all it is. So it's not necessarily a strategy. It's just the more content you're putting out there, obviously, the more chance you've got of going viral. So
yeah, I agree.
But it's
I agree. I would say I used to post minimum 1 video a day. I did that consistently for about 6 months, and I went from 80,000 followers to about 150,000 followers within that 6 months.
Exactly.
It was pretty quick.
Yeah, there's a lot of traffic on TikTok as well. Probably the most traffic, even in comparison to Instagram. They're all a different kettle of fish. Instagram is a completely different world.
Yeah, it works completely differently.
But Instagram's gone bang now. And it's kind of feeling like TikTok did in the beginning, and our TikTok it's just stabilised. But do you guys find like you one day you'll gain 1,000 followers, and then the next day you'll drop, and you think, how's that happening? And that happens quite frequently.
Yeah,
where I had like 3 months on TikTok where I was losing followers every day.
Yeah,
I was still gaining followers. I was still gaining them, and I was still getting viral videos, but my numbers were dropping every single day.
Yeah.
It was so frustrating.
Yeah, we had that.
It seems to like be going back up again now.
Yeah,
we creep up. We're creeping up now.
Accounts or
I
don't know.
We literally had that. I think it was in 2021.
Oh, it was
or 20. I don't know. It was 2022. We literally had 3 months.
We lost thousands.
Where it didn't matter what we did, didn't matter how many times we went viral, we were just losing followers.
Yeah.
That was it. And we were like, how does that make sense?
Yeah.
But you just, like I said, you just got to detach from it. And in the end, because if you don't, it'll just drive you crazy.
Yeah.
And there was definitely a time, wasn't there? I'd say between like lockdown and 2022, where people would follow you, and if you didn't follow them back after a certain amount of time, bosh, they're like, fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm not following that cunt. And it's like, but you really enjoy their content. Like I can't remember who I was with. I was with a friend. And they were like, oh, I follow this person who didn't follow me back, so I'm going to unfollow them. And I was like, oh, but do you like their content? They were like, yeah, mate, it's jokes. I was like, so we've been a cunt for. I was like, if you like the content, mate, just follow him. Who cares if they follow you back or not? Like, it shouldn't matter, should it? Like, it's your profile. You follow who you want, and kind of go for it. Yeah, I think people are very precious, aren't they? Like, especially when you've got, and I'm not undignifying any following. If you have 100 followers, put 100 people in front of you. Right, and see how many people that fucking is, because that's a fucking lot of people.
Yeah.
But if you've got a smaller following where you've maybe got like 1,000-2,000, every follow counts.
Yeah.
Every follow really counts. And like you guys just said, I think when you start getting into the tens and hundreds of thousands, you nearly become numb to it because you nearly can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
I had a viral video on Instagram on one of my reels, which apparently Snoop Dogg shared, which Kimmi tells me. I don't believe it, but that's pretty sick.
I still need to find it.
But I went from 80,000 followers on Instagram, and I woke up to about 120,000 followers. I literally went to sleep and woke up, and I had I remember I had like 600 subscribers on my OnlyFans, and I was like, why have I got so much money in my pending? And I was like, what the fuck happened in there? And then I'd gained like 40,000 followers within 12 hours.
That's amazing, man.
I was like, what the fuck just happened to my social media? Like, I was like, mate, it was wild. I had like fucking something stupid, like 2,000 DM requests. Like, it was mad. I was like, what? I was like, I can't even comprehend this. You know, when it's like fucking so early in the morning, you're like looking at your phone through one eye. Why does that say so many? And I was like, nah. So I kind of force closed all my apps. I reopened it. And it was like, you've just gained another 1,000 followers. I was like, fucking hell. And I just had a video that popped off so well that it blew my account up.
It is crazy.
But it's mad, man.
I think we celebrated the most when we hit 10k on TikTok. We were so happy. Like when we hit 10k on TikTok, we were like, oh,
I got a tattoo.
I love that.
Yeah, 10k was huge.
It's a big deal, man.
It was mad. Like,
Back in the day.
It was massive, man. It wasn't it though. I remember, right? So when you first had when it was first lockdown, right? If you hit 10k in 2020, people were like, "You're you're famous, bro.
Yeah.
You're
Like,
so famous.
you are
Yeah.
TikTok fan. And it was huge. I remember, right, so every stage, wasn't it? 10, 20, 30, 40, all the way up to 100. Everyone did celebration videos, didn't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah.
And they'd
We
literally be
did.
stood there like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, I love you. Like, you're amazing. Like, and I did it. We all did it. We all fucking did it.
We had a runway with fire and everything, didn't we?
Right, honestly, that's sick. Like, it's mad. On my first account, I got up to just under 500,000. And then out of nowhere, bosh, TikTok just took my account. Out of nowhere. And I was like, I actually felt like my life had been fucking ruined, mate.
Yeah,
I put a lot of hard
It's
work
horrible,
into that.
man.
I was like,
Yeah, mine
fucking
was
hell.
I think I got banned probably the same time as you as well.
Oh,
and
so sad.
I was gutted.
Yeah.
I thought
So
my world
sad.
had ended.
You try everything,
So then-
didn't you? You
Please,
try
yeah,
emailing
try
them, you go,
everything, click
please,
back.
my life,
Yeah.
this is everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it all. We did it all.
So then I started an account immediately the next day. I was like, fuck this. I was like, oh, I've got to come out. And I started reposting, obviously, all my videos. Within like a week, got back up to about 180,000. Then bosh, they just banned it. And I was like, it's obviously my videos, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's obviously the videos that I've done. So then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. So I reopened one. I record through Instagram now and then save it and post it onto TikTok.
Yeah.
So I don't record anything through TikTok anymore. Nothing.
Yeah. Oh, really? That's mad.
Yeah, I don't put any effort into it, and I should. I should put way more effort into my TikTok. I know I should.
It's one of them things, though, isn't it? I think you go through little stages and little waves. Like, we do it.
Yeah.
There'll be times when we're way more focused on Instagram, or then there's like times when we'll be more focused on TikTok. And I think you just kind of have to go with how you're feeling, because, you know, otherwise you just burn out and you just end up not enjoying it. So you just got to do whatever you feel like doing.
I think recently
I really struggle to do everything all at once. I'm either really good on one platform and then I'm doing shit on all the rest. I just can't do them all together. My brain just won't get into it.
I can't break Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook's
You've got to keep being persistent with Facebook. Facebook takes a while to trickle, but as soon as it starts trickling, you'll be fine.
It's the same with Instagram and Facebook for us. I think the tough one, right? The tough one where you can earn quite well is YouTube, right?
I mean, yeah.
Now, YouTube, we've just hit 10k on YouTube, and you know the thing is, it's like what you were saying. Yeah, but you know what? We put everything into it, and then we put nothing into it.
Do you know what it is as well? I find with TikTok, with YouTube, is because we used to do a lot of vlogs.
Yeah.
But I always felt like, I don't know, we're not one of these families that vlogs everything we do. And it was like,
it's a lot of time.
What else? Yeah, and it did used to take up a lot of time. You guys can appreciate how long editing takes, you know? And it was like, so, and also when we'd be like, especially when we went to Costa Rica, you know, we'd go out for a day out and I'd just be filming everything and doing everything. And I feel like I wasn't just there enjoying the day.
Yeah.
And I was like, and in the end, I was like, fuck this.
Yeah, you did, didn't you?
And I went, I'm not doing this, because then I'd spend 3 days editing it. And I was like, by the time I knew it, a week's gone. And I was like, bollocks. So.
We're now going to start posting on there.
Yeah, but we'll do different things rather than vlogs.
Yeah, we just got to pay a little bit of attention to it.
Yeah.
You'll have to come on my channel, please.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, we will,
And on that note, I'm very conscious that Rick has not evaporated into the dream world. So I'd like to tackle at least 2 confessions.
Yes.
And then we can all go to bed.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So this one, again, weirdly relevant to a lot of the stuff we've spoke about this evening. I went out with a girl who used to be an adult actress. We got together a year after she stopped. The sex was amazing. I was mostly fine with it and didn't mind talking about it. I often had questions. But often when I got too much detail, I realised there was some stuff I didn't want to hear about. I thought I was going to marry that girl, but she ended it. 3 years later, when I got engaged, she got in touch to tell me she made a massive mistake and still loved me. It messed with my head, and I still think of her often, but I wouldn't want to change my life now.
Tough one.
See, I think, right, from the beginning, if it's real and it's meant to be, it will happen, right? And if it's not, it won't happen. But I think from the get-go, like us, you have to get it all out. You've got to get it all out on the table, and you've got to be comfortable enough to ask those questions and find out about the information. I've got friends that are like, oh, if you talk about your exes, it makes me feel disgusting. Whereas me, I'm like, no, I want to know all the juicy bits.
I think it's very person dependent. You know?
I think that
Like a case by case thing.
Yeah. 100%.
Everyone's different. Me, I like to know everything, not because I'm like, you're going to tell me. I'm just like, I'm interested, I'm curious. I'm like, so what was it like?
It depends if you're the type of person that like doesn't want to and will get a little bit jealous, then don't ask then. If you don't want to know, don't ask.
That's
correct.
For those that don't like it, I'm like, I'm all for that as well. I get it. If you don't like listening, completely understand. I've got friends that are jealous, and I'm just I am that kind of guy. I'll give people their due when they talk to you and we go out and all that. But you want to start grabbing her ass when she tells you I'm in the room, then I don't like it. But there are people that don't want to hear it, and I get that as well, and I respect that.
I think the thing in that situation I'd be most pissed off about is your ex contacting you after 3 years, telling you she's still in love with you. I think I'd be like, hold on.
Did it say did the partner know about it, or was it just she knew and no one else knew?
It doesn't say anything about that. I mean,
but,
I suppose
she's got to shoot a shot. I suppose you never know, because if you don't say it, you never know.
It's crazy. That's crazy, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
but
wild.
I
agree.
Selfish, to be honest,
that's why it is selfish. It's very selfish of the person to reach out after 3 years and be like, you know what?
Especially
I know
when
I ended it.
she was the one that ended it.
Yeah, that's hard.
Bit of a head fuck, that one, isn't it?
That is.
It makes me sit
quite
here and I think,
narcissistic, isn't it?
imagine like 3 years later. Well, we've been together 10 years, but
it's quite selfish. But she didn't know what the answer was going to be, and maybe she was like, she just thought, "Fuck it, I'm going to shoot my shot."
So you see it from both sides. Then?
Yeah, I can understand it from both sides.
Because from the dude's point of view, he's spent some time trying to get past the loss of that relationship, and they're in this new phase of their life, and then this message comes.
I actually had this once, right? So I was with a guy, and I really liked him. This was way before Brad. Really liked him. Blah blah blah.
Who's this?
And
Yeah.
I really liked him, whatever.
It
ended and all this stuff. So then I was in a different relationship. I'd been with this guy for a couple of years. Everything was going fine. And out of the blue, this guy starts messaging me saying he made a massive mistake. He wanted to marry me, all this shit. And I'm not going to lie, there was a little bit of me that was like, oh my God. But then I was like, fuck you, man. Like, you know what I mean? If you wanted me, you should have had me there. I was like, now that I'm in a relationship, and do you just want me because you can't have me?
The forbidden fruit.
Do you know what I mean? And I didn't act on it. I was like, fuck off, I don't care. But I did care. Inside, I was like, oh. And it did make you feel a little bit like, oh, that's sweet. But then at the same time, like I said, it was like, fuck off. You could have had me then.
You snooze, you lose.
You are right, Brad. What you just said, the forbidden fruit. I think that's what entices most people to either want somebody back, 2, have that affair, and 3, make it sound or feel like that kind of naughty stuff that you're doing with that person that you shouldn't be is better because it's more enhanced. It's not the best sex of your life. It's because you shouldn't be fucking them, and and everything's so enhanced because you might be being caught while you're in the fucking the store cupboard at work.
I also think it's like, when you're in a couple and it's not very good, and you're not your normal self, you're a bit shitty, you're a bit depressed, blah 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 blah. And then when you get with someone that makes you happy and they see you being happy, they think they can imagine them with you in that situation, but the reality is with them you would turn away. So I think that's what it is as well. Like they see the more happy side of you, but they could never actually give you that anyway.
It is unfair but more importantly, look at the time. Time's a big part of this. So 3 years. But to get over the initial relationship, how long does it normally take someone, depending on how deep that was? Let's say a year. Yeah, a year is probably a good time to get over the worst of it. So let's say a year and 6 months. So there's only a year and 6 months. This person's then gone, I still love you. Yeah. I don't think that's long enough for somebody to not go, oh, it's too much.
It's really hard.
That is kind of selfish, because I reckon there's at least a year there of getting over it, and you're not leaving enough time to say, I want you back, or I love you. It's like,
I think if that person's single, then fine, shoot your shot. But when you can see they're already happy in a relationship, it is a bit cunty, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, massively. Yeah. Oh, it's right. So I've always had one rule. So I was very similar to you, Brad. When I was younger, I was a massive slut, mate. I fucked everyone and everything, and I mean, I was good to go pretty much on everything. But I always have one rule, and I've always had this, and I've always stuck by it. And I think anyone that does do it, I'm not really a huge, but I don't think it's okay. But I've never spoken to a woman who I know has a partner. I've never done it. Never. I can't do it. I've never done it, and it's never interested me. Like I've got friends who are like, fuck, I love it, mate. It's a challenge. I'm like, damn. I'm like, bro. I'm like, but what if they've been together for 3 years and they're financially tired? I'm like, what if they're happy and then she's just drunk and makes a little mistake by fucking coming home and sucking your cock, mate, and you've just completely ruined her whole life because of one mistake that you've enticed her into. I'm like, that's not fair, mate. I'm like, and imagine if it happens to you. Somebody who's more muscly with a bigger dick, and one mate comes along and goes, oh yeah, but fucking look at this. And do you know what I mean? Like it can always, so. Yeah, that's it's real naughty. So if that ex does know that he's in a loving, happy relationship, and she's gone, oh well, I really love you, and I'd really.
But good for him. Good for him.
Yeah,
good for him for saying
doesn't sit right.
That he wouldn't change his life. He wouldn't change his current life.
I love that. I love that. I'm happy that he's happy.
Yeah. I agree. Because he's obviously happy. Yeah, man. Yeah. And that's it, right? That's it for life, isn't it? And I wish everyone thought like that, Jen. I wish everyone just went, but you know what, I'm happy because they're doing well and they're happy. Like I really do. Like there's people on this earth that I'm not huge fans of, but if they're doing well, good for them. I'm just not a huge fan of them. Why does my opinion even matter? It doesn't. It's completely irrelevant. Like it blows my mind. Right, I can put my hand on my heart. I've been on this fucking earth 37 years. I have never any hate comments ever online to anyone. I've never done it, and I will never do it. And I just wish. People would.
There's enough room on this. There's enough room on this internet for every single person and some.
I know,
just literally every single person and some. Like you're so right. It's such a shame that kind of like there's people out there who have
no,
and their whole content is hating.
It's on crazy. Like it is crazy. I just think
isn't that wild?
When anyone ever gives us shit or used to give shit or. I just think if you focused as much energy into yourself and making yourself happy as you were giving to me right now, you'd probably be a lot happier.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm the same as you. Like, I've never ever left someone a shitty comment on their video. Never, because I'm a firm believer in if you don't like it, block it, move on.
I might have slapped back to people. I might have slapped back to people.
Slap back to someone else giving you shit. That's different, right? But I've never left a shitty comment on someone's video. Like, I just don't see the point because I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't want it done to me. So why am I going to go and do it to other people? You know, lead by example.
If I don't like seeing people, I quite literally just block them. That's it. I reckon. I've
got so many
people. I might have to block down the spade if you want
to. Because I'm like, nah.
We did.
But remember,
we did. But
blocked it. Not out of hate. Just didn't want to see shit. So I was like, I just couldn't stand seeing.
There's quite a few people that we used to follow, and then just didn't really align with what they were doing anymore or whatever. And rather than leaving them shitty comments, which I wouldn't do anyway, but you just block them, innit?
What's the point? Because otherwise,
then it's not in your reality anymore.
You said
it don't matter.
You said this morning. You made a good point this morning, right? And I sat here, and we all do this, right? Come on, we must do it when you're with a partner. You're going through the FYP and you find yourself just going, oh, fucking hell, not this shit again. Hey, look at this rubbish.
Oh, I know.
What? And then all of a sudden, she turns around and she goes, can you just shut the fuck up for a minute?
I was like, can you just shut the fuck up?
Can you just shut the fuck up? If you don't like looking at what you're looking at, like you always say, block it. Don't tell me about it.
And he was going,
I'm just trying to tell you. I'm just trying to have a conversation with you.
And I went, I don't want to fucking hear it. It's negative. Fuck off.
Have you? Okay, question. Is there people who you followed for so long that you now won't unfollow, but you have basically like unfollowed their videos and muted their videos and stories? But you haven't unfollowed their page.
I haven't seen any of your videos for a while, Rick.
Fuck you.
To be honest,
I reckon I've got over 1,000 on that.
No one really that's hurt me up like that.
No, not from a place of hate or dislike. It's more of a... Your content's getting on my tits and I just can't keep seeing the same thing. But
to be honest, like, I don't... Like, there's only some people that I just think, I just don't want to see your shit.
I can't
and I just block it. Like, and there's been a few like that and I'm like, I just don't want to see your shit, whatever. But apart from that, unless I feel like that, I'm just like, whatever. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't care. Like, because it's not them. And even the people I've blocked, it's not them. I just don't want to see it.
No, you're right. No, I'm the same. I'm exactly the same. Like, so all the people on my block list, I don't hate anybody. I don't know any of these people. I don't know. I literally know none of them. I'm exactly the same. Where I'm like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
It's just coming up so much.
Yeah.
It's irritating
It's just,
me.
but I think that's life, though. People grow, people evolve, they change.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same with friendships, isn't it? They say like your friendships change over time and stuff like that, and it's just part of life.
We haven't got many friends.
No, you know.
I mean, we've got a lovely set of friends that we've met now, but we don't have many people around us.
No, we really don't. But I was always taught that the people that are in, you know, you could count the amount of people in your life on one hand.
Yeah.
And it's so true. And as you get older, you realise that.
Do you find as well, right, Rick, I don't know about you, do you find like that a lot of this stuff happens with no animosity? Like, nothing happened. There was no major event. There was no he or she did this to me. You just, all of a sudden, there is no talking. There is no messaging.
Yeah.
Everything just stops and you don't know why. But then
it just happens, doesn't it?
But you just crack on. You just crack on and...
It's life.
Yeah. Well, you got to remember, that's... I'm very similar in that thought.
I don't know if you've got that with me, but yeah, that's like, it happened. It's happened a lot, I think, especially with me.
You really do, don't you? Like, I don't have a huge social circle. I'm definitely growing more of a social circle where I live now, where I've lived for like 4 years, which is really nice, but it's not like we see each other every week.
Yeah.
It's kind of, we might meet up maybe once every 6 to 8 weeks, go for dinner, that's like catch up for 2 or 3 hours, and then bosh, back to our lives. But I don't have the time, and I know it sounds stupid, because all I do is prioritise spending time with my kids, which to some people they don't like, and that's fine, man. If you don't want to hang out with your kids, that's sick, bro. But for me,
yeah, we love that, man.
I can't think of anything more fun than hanging out with my kids. I live and breathe for it, so I work as hard as I can just so I can have money, so I can do fun things and hang out with my kids. And when they go, Dad, I really want an ice cream, I'm like, fuck it, let's go and have an ice. Fuck it, yeah. Do you want 2 scoops on a flake? Let's have 2 scoops.
You say that.
Like,
we both say that a lot.
I love that.
We always say that.
I love that. We never had, neither of us had that growing up, really. I mean, I did, you know, so it's really, that sort of stuff is really important.
No, I didn't.
You know?
You know, they say that it's a generic term. Everyone says it, don't they? Like changing the broken record.
Yeah.
We really are the epitome of that.
Breaking the cycle.
But what we don't do, we don't spend our life saying our life would be so much better if that didn't happen, or you know,
we also wouldn't be the parents that we are if we hadn't have been through that shit, you know.
Correct. Yeah. It's all about experiences, isn't it? It's all about kind of evolving from what's happened in the past and learning from it, and kind of taking a bit from what you've learned and kind of adding it on to what you're going to be doing. And yeah, man, like nobody knows where they're going, do they? I just think people need to be a bit nicer to each other and a bit more fucking happier. It's nice to see people happy, isn't it? Like it really is. It's nice to see people doing well and happy, and I don't understand why there are people out there that really, really hate it. Yeah, it's sad.
Right then, one more. And then bedtime. I once had a full-blown work fling with a colleague who was dating a friend who was another member of my team. I was young and it was exciting, but for the 6 months it went crazy. This included antics both inside and outside of the workplace on many occasions, whilst her now husband was sat on the desk opposite mine. Over 10 years on, and we still speak and have each other on socials, I see so many posts about his amazing wife and how she's the mother of their kids. However, I know she's had many affairs. I can't say anything because I was, way back when, one of those people she was getting it on with. Is it best kept under the patio, or should I tell him about all the recent affairs that I'm aware of, knowing that
your own bloody business.
knowing that she will bring me into it, for something that happened over decades ago.
Business, mate. Yeah.
Why would that even be a question? Why would he want to go and tell her husband? What's the motive behind that? Are they happy? Is he the guy's friend? Because if he was his friend, then fine. If he doesn't, if he's not,
if he was his friend, he should have fucking told him 10 years ago.
How do we know the partner doesn't already know? Like, because you don't know, right? I know a fair amount of couples now that are in open relationships, I know a
That
lot.
is so true.
Right, and it's
Yeah.
not open as in they go out actively seeking to fuck. They're a family at home, but when they're outside of home, if the occasion arises, they are allowed to do as they please. But they just don't bring that shit home. For you as an onlooker, and I'm not judging you, I'm really not. But for you as an onlooker to be like, oh, that's disgusting, that's nonsense. Me personally, unless it was a very, very close friend of mine, like a very close friend of mine, and I just Brad, me and you are best mates. Fucking, I saw Jen neck off with some cunt in the bar yesterday. Boom, I'll tell you, literally now, right? I'm not gonna be like 2 years down the line, being like, you know what, Bradders, mate, fucking, I've got to tell you, it's been burning away at me. 2 years, you'd be like, Rick, mate, what the fuck? Why are you telling me now, you cunt? Like, we've just got married and got a mortgage, mate. We've just had a kid, you fucking silly cunt. Why didn't you tell me then? I would have fucked her off.
Yeah.
Like 10 years down the line, they're probably married, probably have a mortgage, maybe have kids, financial commitments together, maybe a car and finance together. And you're going to go and try and break up that whole dynamic now. Stay out of it, mate.
Probably won't even remember who it is.
I just think, you know, it's how can I put it? Some things are just better left unsaid. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, if it's been going on that long, chances are either he knows about it or like the other person, or I don't know. I just think it's just not really your place to get involved.
Unless you fancy
Well, yeah. I mean, a relationship in my eyes is between two people. And don't get me wrong, I'm all for people looking out for people and stuff. But like you say, that should have been done at the time.
Yeah.
You know, you can't harbour something. It's like someone doing something and then bringing it up 10 years later and blaming you for it. And you're like, whoa, hang on, where'd this come from?
Yeah, it does weigh in.
So,
especially when he was part of that
exactly.
as well.
Yeah, that's
I think it's more of a guilty conscience on his part.
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
Or a jealousy.
And stuff
I'd
like
say
that.
more jealousy. I'd say more
jealousy. And I just think, and also the messenger always ends up getting in shit than anything else. So if I was you, I'd just keep out of it. And if they're happy, leave them be.
Yeah, man.
Because if they're not, and she is messing around or doing whatever, it will come out.
Yeah, there's too much.
A year on's too late, mate. Now, tell me now. If you know it's happened, tell me. I want to know immediately, and then I can act upon it. So nothing else in my life can evolve with this person who apparently is doing whatever they're doing. 10 years.
I think I would.
Only if you're friends, though, not from a stranger, because I think that's.
I think if I was the person who was being told, and my friend or whatever told me, and they'd known for 10 years, I'd also be pissed off at them.
Yeah, bro, I'd be furious.
I'd be like,
I'd be more pissed off.
You didn't tell me, and you let me marry and do all this, and blah blah blah.
You were my best man, you cunt. Yeah, like, literally.
Yeah. I'd be so pissed off.
There'll be a lot of unanswered questions, and all you're going to do is, after 10 years, you're going to create
a lot of drama.
You're going to have a lot more unanswered questions, and then you're going to fucking dig up dirt that's
ruin your friendship, ruin a relationship. It's just not.
You're going to turn everything completely upside down. It's not. Nothing good is going to come from that. Nothing.
No, I don't think so.
Nothing.
Yeah.
No.
Should have done it 10 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Guys, this has been such a blast.
We do talk a lot. Oh, sorry,
we can talk.
No, I do. So the fact I've got two more people, I'm like, let's get on. Like, I'm really enjoying it. Yeah.
We'll have to do it in person.
There will be a scenario where I can obviously meet you and hang out with you guys and share some more stories and have a cuddle. So yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah,
I'd enjoy
100%.
You've got to meet the short king.
You do. To see that I'm not a short
maybe we can try out a San Francisco steam
Yes, sir. That's right. But like, where is it you guys are from? Obviously, not specifically.
We're in Essex.
Yeah,
Essex.
but we'll do it Essex style.
Can I come and watch?
Yeah. Kimmi could just be like looking with her goggles like. Love it, like. Yeah, bro, she'd love it, mate. And obviously, Monkaiy, the editor, will be fucking filming so we can get all the good editing shots. That's fine.
He's the videographer.
Be sick.
We'll have Mike and Mikey there. So.
Yeah.
But what can we think? Like, honestly, thank you so much for having us on. We've really enjoyed it as well.
Thank you for listening to us.
Yeah, we do ramble on, so thank you.
I could literally speak to you all day.
What's really frustrating is I still feel like I have so many more questions and so much more context that we could get
come back
into.
again. We can do it again.
Yeah, they'll have to come back.
I would love, because I would love to talk about your upbringing, because when me and Brad spoke very, very briefly, it sounds like we had very similar kind of upbringings, and very similar kind of parenting styles to our backgrounds. So yeah, I'd love to like dive into that and have like a bit more of like a in-depth, serious conversation rather than like, you know, like, woo, fucking social media and I want to find Dan Spragg and all this sort of shit. I mean, like,
there is a lot more of a deeper.
There's a very deep side to us, and it's a very much a reason. The reason we are the way we are.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So,
It's not just because we're these happy bubbly people. We come from very traumatic past. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's, but we don't really talk about it that much, and it's because it's not really.
But there's millions of people just like us. And I think if people like us with a platform talk about it a little bit more, I just figure that this is the kind of place I'd be comfortable doing.
Yeah, bro. I agree, man. Like,
we'll do it.
Just a genuine conversation about kind of your feelings, my feelings, why you feel you are, and how you've become the person you are, why I feel the way I am, and how I feel that I've become the person I am today. So that is the end of the Confessional Podcast, episode 42. We have had yours truly, of course, Rick. We've had the amazing co-host Kimmi K. We've had Mickey D, the pod producer, and we have had, honestly, the sensational and amazing Hannisons, who I'm really excited. We've just spoken. We're going to get these guys back on the podcast in a little bit of a different dynamic. But for now, please check all the links. You're going to see all of their social medias, their TikTok, their Instagram, their YouTube even. Please go and check them out. If you're not following them, I promise you're missing out. Their content is actually fucking brilliant. But on that note, please do remember to like, subscribe, share. If you want to see any behind the scenes, go and check out Patreon. It's free for the first 7 days. And we love you and good night.
Toodle pig.
Thanks for having us on. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Sick. That was good, man.
That was fucking rad.
I feel like it could be like another 2 hours.
I know.